Hello all, DOG here. Um, Not doing a painting tonight. What I'm going to do is I'm going to attempt to clean and resin these. I'm going to do one of them. I might end up mixing up more resin, so I got two kind of prepared. These are just some paintings that I did, I want to say 3 to 4 weeks ago. They got a little bit of, and I'm not sure whether it's silicone or coconut milk that I put in them. There's a little bit of crazing going on. Quite a bit of silicone. I don't know if you can tell that in the video from the light flashing off them or not. Kind of like both pieces, but I need to test this theory. So I'm not sure what the lady's name that I watched the video and she did this, but she simply took her painting after drying quite a bit, and she took a baby wipe, and just a baby wipe, she just washed off the painting like so. She wiped it really good, and supposedly this is supposed to get the silicone out so the epoxy resin does not reject it in spots. And then a little bit of paint did come off and a little bit of color. And if I remember right, she just did that a couple times, a couple different wipes. A little bit more color is coming off, but it's not affecting the painting at all. And I should have had this prepared, but then she just took a paper towel. Sorry for the delay. Be right back. Just took a wet paper towel and wiped it off again. Now that's pretty wet. You don't want a wet paint. You don't want to put resin on a wet painting at all. But take a dry paper towel, help it out a bit. Drying. And set that one to the side. And do the same on this one. That one's got a bit of crazing going on. There's a big dent right in the center. I think the resin will cover and make these look a lot better than they do right now. They looked really nice when they were wet and shiny. I really like these colors. Lady named Eleanor on the Hit It Rich video slot machine site that I play on gave me the idea for these colors. Where did I put that? And again with just a wet towel. A dry towel. And I'm sure you can't tell the difference on the camera, but I can tell the difference. There is a lot less silicone on these. I'm kind of happy with that. All right. So what I'm going to use is Amelwood glazed coat. I believe I got these at Menards. It's a 2-part epoxy resin. Got the resin and the hardener. So they say these are 8x10s, and 8x10, about 1.5 ounces should cover it. These are actually 5-ounce cups for epoxy resin. Equal parts resin, equal parts hardener. So you don't actually have to measure, 1 ounce here, 1 ounce here. As long as you get the same amount, so you use the same measuring line. I'm going to say that's about 2 ounces. I should put the caps back on as I go. And this stuff is sticky. Sticky as hell. Should have gloves on at all times. But if you do get it on your hands, the best thing to take it off is vinegar and isopropyl. Got a cup of that sitting over there in the corner. I just dibble my fingers in it. That stuff, stickiness comes right off. And then you remember to put your gloves on. Oh. Okay. So I got 1 cup resin, about 2 ounces in it. One cup hardener with about 2 ounces in it. That's going to end up being 4 ounces, about 1.5 ounces to cover each one of these. So I am going to do both of them. And wish I had a smaller, bigger cup. Will do. I guess I'll use this. So you just take your 2 set the resin in the hardener. This is kind of a tedious process. If you've ever done it, just speed up the video if you want. You don't want to sit and listen to me babble while I mix resin. I kind of did that backwards. You always want to put the thinner of the 2 mixtures. I always forget which is the thinner. Anyway, you want to put your thinner in your mixing cup first. Just makes it a little easier. And you whip it. Making sure to scrape the sides, scrape the bottom, get that stuff all mixed in there. They say about 3 minutes. They also say, and I don't know who they are. Anyway, they also say mix till the bubbles are gone. Well, I've mixed and mixed and mixed, and the bubbles have never just been gone. So I mix approximately 3 minutes. Or better timer is about half a cigarette. don't have any clear big cups, so I can't really show you what's going on. Just stirring away. Again, fast forward a couple minutes if you don't want to watch, you don't want to listen to my babble. It does get thinner and thinner as it mixes in. If you do it a few times, you know what it feels like when it's mixed. But I don't know if you can see that. There's a lot of air bubbles in there. This isn't exactly a problem because they come out. Use a heat gun to get them out, or a torch after they're on the painting. We went quiet because I don't got nothing to say. I'm really hoping this works out, though. If this works out, it will be the easiest way of cleaning silicone off that I've ever heard of. And the lady that did it, she simply did what I did, wiped it off a couple times with a couple different baby wipes, wipe it off with a wet towel, wipe it off with a dry towel, let it sit there and dry while you mix your epoxy resin. She did, I think it was Liquitex varnish on it right afterwards. Let that dry, and it looked pretty good. It does get to your fingers and your hands spinning this, but that's pretty well mixed up. I don't know whether it was 3 minutes or not. I guess when we watch the video, we'll be able to check the timing exactly. Still a lot of bubbles, but it is the right thickness. It's the right consistency for doing this. Do these out of the way. Can't reuse those cups for nothing. And I'm going to do this one first. I have too much stuff in my way. Trash. My table's kind of trashed. I haven't changed any kind of papers or nothing on it in a while. Alright. And this is simple. It's not even hard. You don't have to be scared of it or nothing, where you're going to do it wrong, because if you get some blemishes in it, take a little sandpaper, scuff it up again, kind of sand in your little blemishes a little bit better, and do another coat on it. It's just like pouring. Pour a little bit of that in the middle. Run that stuff around as much as you can. I mean, I don't think that was even an ounce that I put on there. And you can see, I mean, I hope you can see in the video, the bubbles popping. Bubbles are popping. Try not to let it flow off the edge right away. You get more of your product. Put a little bit more on there. Okay, I want to say that's about 1.5 ounces total. But like I say, I don't measure anything. I eyeball it all. So, you get it pretty well spread out. The best way to finish spreading it, honestly, you should try all kinds of tools or whatever you want. This is the best way to do it. Your hand can feel what's going on. Push it right straight to the edge. Get it all covered. Your whole surface covered. You can feel as it covers it with your hand. You can feel whether it isn't covered, whether it is. So I got the whole thing covered, and I'm just going to push it off the edge. Push it right off the edge, let it flow down the sides. Hopefully you get an even flow down the sides so your sides look nice and glossy also. And it's self-leveling. This is going to level out. Now with canvases sag in the middle. The more weight that's in the middle, the more product that's going to be in the middle. You just want to kind of smooth it out a bit. Push it to the edges. Kind of pay attention to your corners, because you want those covered for sure. And it's on your gloves, so you don't got to dip onto the drippings table to get it. So it'll be on your glove. And that fixed that crazing pretty good. I mean, if it dries like this, I see one little crack in there. I don't know whether anybody else is ever going to see it or not. These hooks that I have that are underneath, they are the greatest little tool. Because you can put your hand under there and hold this thing and really rub those sides rather than if it was on cups, it'd be pushing it off the cups and knocking the cups over. Well, that's pretty good. Now, one thing, it does waste gloves. Because you can't reuse these gloves for nothing. So, get that first coat on there. Hopefully you only have to use one coat. Hopefully it works out good. There's no rejection spots like I've seen in the past with different ways of cleaning this. You're just using your torch to pop the bubbles. It's got a bunch of bubbles up. Just popping those bubbles. You don't want to get it real hot. Pop them away. Bubbles be gone. That's enough torching for now. And you see bubbles all over in it. I just want to keep torching until they're totally gone. But you can't. You can't do that. And normally I would just let this sit here and dry. Come back about every 5 minutes. 5 minutes is ridiculous. 15 minutes. Rub your bottoms, like I did not rub the bottom yet on this one. Hit it with the torch and let it sit for another 5 minutes. Hit it with the torch. They say about 3 or 4 times of doing that. Yeah, those they people again, I don't know who they are. And you should have all your bubbles gone. I'm hoping. Okay, let's put this one over here. more gloves. This is going to be a long video, I think. At the end, I'm going to have to stop it and then come back tomorrow to show the results. Because I tend to not do that. Show the results. Okay. So, we got... I put a little bit more on there initially than I did the last one. Let that stuff run. And you could run it all the way to the edge, or off the edge, and it might cover your edges better. But on the first one, I was trying to keep from wasting any. On this one, I'm going to just use what's left in that cup and probably do that. But I want to get an initial layer on there first. Just run it down there. I have quite a bit left. Seems like an awful waste though, doing it that way. But we'll see what the difference is between the two this way, I suppose. It is dripping off there pretty good. I got really quiet for a minute, didn't I? 'Cause I'm not sure what I'm doing here. I think it's all gone. So, looks like a little bit of rejection going on there. But there's a thick coat on here. Just move it back and forth. Back and forth this way. And he's got a really good coat on the sides. I'm dumping it off. But again, that's kind of wasteful. I wish I would have had another 5x7 that I had cleaned and done this with too. At the same time I'm doing these two, because I didn't mix up too much resin. Well, like I said, it's self-leveling. You might see some bumps and stuff in there right now. But as soon as I hit it with that heat gun, it's going to level right out. Or the torch. Bye-bye for the gloves. do that almost every time. If you notice, I forgot to go under the edges. And you can use a heat gun to get rid of these bubbles also. Might be a better idea. Matter of fact, I'm going to do that. Use my heat gun instead. It's not plugged in. I'm not seeing as many bubbles coming up on this one as I did the other one, but they were coming up. And that other one pretty good. I don't see rejection spots either. That's a good sign. That's a really good sign. I'm going to do this one. I'm not sure if you guys can see what I'm doing here. I'm just running this heat gun over this other one that I just did. So when I first started doing this, and I got a couple paintings dried, and thinking time to cover. I researched it a little bit and seen they said cover it with powder and do it. I can't tell if that's bubbles in there. Air bubbles or what. Anyway, I covered it with some flour and cleaned it, washed it, cleaned it, used Dawn. Covered it with some epoxy. Oh, there was so many rejection spots still on it. Made me mad. So I went along making paintings, making more paintings, and making more paintings, thinking of a better way to clean this stuff. And then came across this. I made a buttload of paintings. So I got a buttload of paintings to cover. That's what I'm saying. I'm really hoping this technique works because it was so simple. Simple, not nothing to be afraid of. Total waste of time if it don't work, I suppose, but I believe it's going to work. I believe as long as I keep knocking down these air bubbles for a while, and that's exactly what I was seeing. Just a grouping of air bubbles, kind of looked like a rejection spot, but it was just a grouping of air bubbles. Kind of looks like it's down to the canvas. There's a spot here on this one that I don't like. But like I said, if it comes out bad, because I have done this, I've taken one that had all kinds of rejection spots on it, sanded it down, put another coat of epoxy resin on it, and it ended up being pretty nice. Sent that one off to my Aunt Donna. It was like my second painting. Okay, so basically what you see in the wrong position because I know they're not framed up anymore. Bring them back here. What you see right now is what I want. What you see right now might not be what it ends up. There is a spot going on right here. This is a rejection spot. So I'm bummed about that. But this one's going to end up having to be redone because of this spot. I don't know enough for you to see it, but do this. If you look around, it looks totally different right there than all the rest of this. This one looking pretty good. If I can keep from getting the glare and the shadow of the camera in the shot. I'm hoping this turns out good. With some more heat, just because I can. I wonder if this spot that I'm worried about here happened because of the torching. And if torching, heat gun is better for this than torching. Anybody got an answer to that? Throw a comment down below, let me know what you think. I think moving it created bubbles in there again. Alright, I'm going to stop this video now. Pick it up probably tomorrow night when I come home from work, and hopefully I'll have some great big canvases. Because Michaels is supposed to be having a 70% off canvas sale tomorrow. So right after work, that's where I'm headed. Alright, we'll talk to you guys in a bit. I'm back. It's the next day. It's been 24 hours on these that I cleaned with baby wipe and then did resin on them, which I guess was only a few minutes for you, a few minutes ago for you. But anyway, take a look at them. Look how glossy they are. Freaking awesome. There's no silicone rejection spots. Simple wipe with 2 baby wipes on each one of these. These are 8x10 canvases. Look at them. Look how shiny that is. They look super wet. They're not wet. The damn things are dry. Nothing there. Pretty solid. I learned today what archival meant, and these are definitely archival quality. These will last for a long time. The resin that I used on them is UV resistant, so they're not going to yellow in the sunlight for many years. Now there is a couple spots. They're not rejection spots, really. I think they were bubbles that popped later after I quit torching. They're not really a problem, because what I'm going to do is you want to wait at least 3-4 days before you do this, but I'm just going to take 220 sandpaper. Show you what it is. This is actually 320, but it's regular 3M Sandblaster Pro. It's actually rubber sandpaper. The back is rubber. This stuff lasts forever. I don't really remember how much it was. It was a little expensive, but for how long it lasts, it's not really that expensive. Anyway, just take that across the top, wipe it off with a regular wet towel, and throw you another coat on there. Any of these little blemishes are going to be gone. And if you remember, not too long ago for you, but yesterday for me, I had a spot that was looking bad here, and I think that's because I used a torch and it heated there too much. Well, off camera, I just took a little bit of what had dripped off of the paper here and dripped some on there, and it ended up fixing that spot. Now, as he said, I would have no problem giving one of these to a friend to put on their wall. I don't think I would try and sell one of these unless I did put another coat on it. And right now I think I will put another coat on it. But they're pretty cool. So I'm going to say baby wipes, regular baby wipes, or even generic brand baby wipe. Baby wipes are the easy answer for cleaning silicone. Clean the silicone off to where you can either varnish or resin, however they're doing it. Some people are using this stuff, this triple thick polyurethane. I don't know why I can say that word, but that works. I didn't really like it. I ended up getting a hair in it, and when I pulled the hair, a whole piece of that came off, so I poo-pooed on that. And this particular resin seems to be a little bit softer than another brand that I have, but I want to use this up before I start using that. Anyway, now I'm babbling, and this video has lasted long enough. Let's see, I will get a close-up on them again. Just to show you how glossy they are. Okay, so I think I'm done here. Quick shout out to Eleanor. Thanks for the color ideas. These turned out way cool. Thanks for watching. Bye guys.